Yeah. So welcome back, sir. Let us revise the discharge of a contract. है ना? So yesterday we have completed discharge of a contract. See, first of all, what is the meaning of the discharge? Discharge means a termination of contractual relationships between the parties. What is discharge, sir? Termination of the contractual relations. When we entering into contract, contractual relationship will comes into existence between the offerer and offeree. है ना बेटा? When you are performing your duty, when I am performing my duty, contractual relations will comes to an end. Discharge means termination of contractual relations. Discharge means putting an end to the contract between the parties. So how to discharge the contract? How to terminate the contract? How to put an end to the contract? There are 6 ways are there. How many ways beta? 6 ways. In 6 ways we can discharge the contract. The first one by performance, by mutual consent, by operation of law, by impossibility of performance, by lapse of time, by breach. So among all, this one is very important. 10 stars. This one is 5 stars. This one is 5 stars. These 3 things he can ask separately, or he can ask in the exam. What are the various modes of discharge of a contract? ये पूरा लिखना बेटा 1 2 3 4 5 6 पूरा लिखना एग्जाम में. First, how to discharge the contract, है ना? By performance. Performance is of 2 types: actual performance, attempted performance. Actual performance means you are performing your duty. I am performing my duty. My duty is to give the car. I give the car. Your duty is to give the money. You give the money. Contract is actually performed and discharged. Second one is a tender or attempted performance. I am supposed to give the car. I am trying to give the car, but you are not giving the money, not accepting the car. The person performing his promise can terminate the contract. Since I am performing my duty, you are not accepting your duty, I can terminate the contract between you and me. So first one, actual performance. Second one, attempted performance. So second way of putting an end to contract is the by mutual consent, offerer and offeree sitting together, discussing and closing the contract without any fightings. By mutual consent, again it is 5 types. First one, novation, alteration, remission, rescission, waiver. 5 ways. First one is the novation. Novation means entering into new contract in the place of the old contract. Old contract will be discharged in such a place. New contract will be comes into existence. Parties to contract may remain same. Parties to contract may change also. And discharge of the old contract is the consideration for the new contract. Second one, alteration. Alteration means changing the terms and conditions of the contract by mutual consent. So I am supposed to give the car on 31st March, but Ishwar said, sir, I am busy on 31st March. He said, can you please available, can you make it available on the 4th April? I said, okay. Yes sir, no sir. So change the terms and conditions by mutual consent. Parties to contract should remain same. ये difference भी exam में आता बेटा. Novation versus alteration. एक बार आया. Remission. Remission means actually Nikhil has to give me 1000 rupees, but he is having only 500 rupees. I am accepting 500, discharging 1000 rupees. Accepting lesser fulfillment to discharge the whole obligation. How much is supposed to give me? 1000. But how much is having? Only 500. He don't have remaining 500. He is crying. I said, I said to Nikhil, don't cry. Give me 500. I will discharge you for the whole. By mutual consent only. There is no force. So accepting lesser fulfillment to discharge the whole obligation is said to be the remission. Rescission. Rescission means cancellation of the contract by mutual consent. I need not give the car, you need not give the money. Yes sir, no sir. By mutual consent we decided to close the contract, not to perform. Next, waiver. It is an intentional relinquishment or giving up. Actually Nikhil has to give me 1 lakh rupees. How much is supposed to give me? 1 lakh. He don't have 1 lakh. So out of goodwill gesture, I said, Nikhil, you need not give me because I am a kind-hearted. I will not ask you single rupee also from you. Don't cry. Contract is discharged because I said you need not give. Next, by operation of law, exam में 1-2 बार आया बेटा. How question in the exam, direct question, how contract may be discharged by operation of law. First one, by death. So I entered into agreement with Shreya for singing the song Shreya Ghoshal Mar Gaya. Contract will be discharged because skill is involved, personal skill. By insolvency. By insolvency, if a person is declared as insolvent, we will pay proportionate amount, but it will be discharged for the whole as per insolvency bankruptcy code. By material alteration, without the consent of other party, I am changing the material terms of the contract. I am making 1 lakh into 10 lakhs, 1% into 10%. Without the consent of other party, if I am changing the terms and conditions of the contract, contract will be discharged by operation of law. And the last one is the same identity. If offerer become the offeree, if the promiser become the promisee, contract will be discharged. We discussed that promise note kattappa case la. Next, by lapse of time. Lapse of time means expiry of the time. There is an act in India, Indian Limitation Act. As per this act, for every transaction, limitations are there, beta. Expiry period is there. For example, debt validity 3 years. Once that limits specified in the Indian Limitation Act is expires, contract also comes to an end. Next, breach. Breach is of two types: actual breach and anticipatory breach. This is next chapter, but I will discuss in the next chapter. Next, एक बच गया impossibility. Impossibility very very important. Directly he will ask in the exam. Practically also he will ask in the exam. So two types impossibility: initial impossibility and subsequent impossibility. Initial impossibility is void ab initio, which is void from the very beginning. Subsequent impossibility also said to be void contract. Subsequent to entering into valid contract, if there is a war broke out between two countries, contract will be destroyed. Contract will be comes to an end. So subsequent impossibility, he is giving the some examples, beta. For examples, first one, destruction of the subject matter. I entered into contract with Nikhil for sale of the car. Car jal gaya. Subject matter destroyed. Contract will be discharged. Death and personal incapacity. I entered into a contract with Michael Jackson for dancing in my reception. Michael Jackson mar gaya. Shreya Ghoshal mar gaya. है ना बेटा? So contract will be comes to an end. Next, declaration of the war. I entered into agreement with Ching Chang Cho of China for supplying of the mobile. There is a war between India and China. Contract will be discharged by change of law. I entered into agreement with Nikhil for sale of the liquor from January to December. But Modi uncle said, "Aaj raat 12 baje se daru pina band." So from tomorrow, legal become illegal. Change of law. So sale of liquor will be comes to an end. Non-existence, non-occurrence of the state of things required for performance of contract, because in a case la beta Krill versus Henry. In that case la, prince will be there, king will be there, coronation will be there for the prince. Due to ill health of that king or prince, he was unable to attend the coronation. To view the coronation, we have taken the apartment, room in the hotel. So generally room rent will be 1,000 rupees, but per that night it will be 10,000. Unfortunately, coronation is cancelled. Contract also comes to an end due to non-existence of the state of things required. Actually, I am purchasing a ticket to view the cricket. Due to rain, cricket is cancelled. What about this contract? Contract also comes to an end because non-existence of the state of things required. But some exceptions are there, beta. In the following exceptional cases, contract will not be discharged based on the supervening impossibility. Subsequent impossibility. First one is difficulty in performance. After entering into contract, if the parties feel that performance become more difficult, contract will not be discharged. Getting 95 marks in CA foundation law is difficult but not impossible. Commercial impossibility. Questions will be there, beta. So I entered into agreement with the carpenter for manufacturing of the, for making of the table, bench, wood 300, iron 200, labor 200. So total cost will be 700. The carpenter said, "Let me keep the profit of 300. Let me sell it for 1,000." Subsequently, when he is trying to make the bench, unfortunately, wood cost increased to 600, iron increased to 400, labor increased to 300. So price cost itself is 13. Can this guy who carpenter say like because cost is increased, contract is discharged? No. You may get the loss, but it is possible. No, it is not impossible. Exam में question आता है बेटा. I entered into agreement with Nikhil for sale of the dal, tur dal, pappu dal, 40 rupees per kg. kg 40. Subsequently, the price is increased from 40 to 60. Can I say price is increased? I will not supply. It is impossible. No, it's my fault. The same example will be there in the exam. Next one, default by third party. So I have to give the rice to Nikhil. Unfortunately, rice mill people are unable to supply the rice. Can I say contract is discharged? No. It's my headache. I should purchase from some other person. Next, strikes, lockouts and civil disturbances. Question रहता है but एक दो questions रहता. Already I kept starts no, but yesterday itself. Strikes, lockouts, civil disturbances. So I entered into agreement with Nikhil for manufacturing of the 10 fans, colorful fans. But unfortunately, there was a strike in the labor strike in the factory. Can I say labor is on the strike, contract is discharged? That is my headache. Contract will not be discharged due to strikes. Last one, partial impossibility. We discussed a case law, that is HB steamboat versus put on. In this case we are entering into agreement to take the boat on the rent to view the coronation and also the fleet is happening, but coronation is cancelled. There is only partial impossibility. Contract will not be discharged based on the supervening impossibility. Done. So this is all about the discharge of a contract. Clear in single page. So remaining part we'll see in the next class. In the next class we'll do the scanner. Have a great time. Enjoy the day. Prepare well. Easy signing off. Take care.